Ink. Reality Augmentation.
And it was the weirdest thing because I looked in the mirror and I didn't see me. But at the same time, I knew I was looking at myself, but it was totally different.
I regret being at this stage of friendship with you.
I'm out of pages in my dream journal and you promised me I could have the one you never use.
Yeah, but I forgot it.
So where am I supposed to keep my dreams? Wait, hold that thought.
I wasn't gonna respond to that.
Oh, you know who I looked like? I looked like, what's their name? They came by the office the other day just to say hi. God, what was it?
Nobody comes by our office to say hi.
No, they did. They said hi and made a joke about the door.
Derrick? Do you mean Derrick?
Yes, it was Derrick. I looked exactly like Derrick.
Derrick didn't come by to say hi. Derrick came by to remind us that we're the only department on the ship that doesn't have a door.
They must have been pretty friendly about it since they made their way into my dream as me. Anyways, I was Derrick and myself. There was also a doctor telling me it was time to donate my gland.
Please, no doctor stuff.
Don't worry, this was a fake doctor from a dream. I asked which gland I was supposed to donate, and the doctor pulled out this huge wheel with all my glands on it and spun the wheel. Then they said, "Looks like it's your lucky day. We're taking your secret gland." And I said, "I didn't know I had a secret gland." And they said, "It wouldn't be a secret if you did."
You know, it being a fake dream doctor didn't actually make that any better because I still had to hear it.
I am one free dream journal away from you never having to hear this again.
I know I forgot, but if I knew it would have been like this, I would have just bought one on the way here. Jonas, you are torture wearing a smile.
It's the third shift in a row that you've forgotten it, and I have a lot of dreams that I don't want to forget. What if this becomes important?
The doctor?
I don't know all my glands, Bethany. Nobody knows all my glands.
Jonas, listen to me. This place has crushed all of my dreams. If you fill me up with all of your dreams, I don't know what I'll become.
You'll become just like me. Unless you remember the journal next shift.
I'll do my best.
Great. And I haven't even gotten to the best part of the dream.
Please, Jonas, let me lose myself fully in this form.
If I don't say the important part, I might forget it. And if that happens, I will make it your problem.
Do I have to listen?
Yes, explicitly.
Fine. But skip to the most important part.
After the doctor took my secret gland, we were building our own spaceship, but we didn't have any metal or wires, so instead we had to keep pulling each other's teeth out and gluing them together. Isn't that bonkers?
Sure, Jonas.
Then we rode the ship to a planet made out of bread. But we couldn't eat any bread because neither of us had any teeth. That was the good part. It was good because it was ironic. If only I could write it in a dream journal.
That's great, Jonas.
You're not listening to me.
I can't imagine what it's like to be ignored. How's the pre-incorporation extinction history catalog and manifest form coming along?
Could you actually help with it?
Sure, fine. But I'm not just doing it for you again.
That's fine. I just need you to answer a question.
Sure, ask away.
Do I have to do all of this, or is there an easy way?
All of what?
Do I have to put each extinct species in here?
What? No. Are you doing that?
What? No! How do I do this?
You just list each kingdom of species and then list the number of species in each kingdom that went extinct. You do not need to find the number of each creature that died. Just find the numbers first. Don't look at any animals until you absolutely have to.
Oh, thank goodness. Some of them are cute and the rest of them give me nightmares.
And I don't want to hear about those nightmares, so please, just look up the numbers. Is there anything else?
Yeah, I need pictures of fossils.
You have to make those.
Really?
We used to have a laser that would burn it onto the paper, but somebody in the paper, wood, gasoline, pure oxygen, and hydrogen storage and separation facility decided to mess around with one a few cycles back, and now we have to draw all the fossils by hand.
Did they die?
Everybody dies, Jonas, especially if they're lucky.
And now I get to doodle?
Yes.
A noble death.
And Jonas?
Yeah?
No one will ever check what the fossil was supposed to look like.
I'm sorry for using you as a dream journal.
You're not sorry, Jonas, but you're welcome, anyways.
Salutations, Spacers! Have you ever wondered what it was like to be planetside? Wonder no longer. Thanks to advancements in long-break adjacent technologies, you and Spacers like you can finally experience the crushing weight of planetide's organic gravity. Feel your bones crackle, your joints buckle, and your hairs grow rapidly longer and less manageable in real excruciating time. If that sounds unpleasant, you should feel lucky that you get to live your whole life in comfortable, endless space. Planetside. It's not for everybody, and probably not for you. And if it's not for you, remember, you're always welcome here. Productivity is happiness.
Hey, I really like that you let me do all the forms that I get to draw on.
There are more, actually. This is the planet-wide religious and mythological symbolism and iconography collection form. You just have to copy down whatever the big religions painted everywhere.
How come I've never heard of these forms before?
These are pretty rare forms to come up, honestly.
Well, I appreciate it either way.
Don't make them too detailed. There are plenty of other forms we need to get through.
Will people check these for accuracy?
Of course not, Jonas.
Look at me, enjoying work.
Proud of you, Jonas.
Oh, come on. They didn't even use cool symbols. They just used numbers.
That happens more often than you'd think.
What am I supposed to do with a bunch of numbers?
Draw them.
You can't pull the make Jonas do work by convincing them it's actually fun drawing time trick on me twice in one shift, Bethany. Drawing numbers is just writing, and writing is just work, and work is just terrible.
Grumble quieter.
Just a bunch of numbers. Such a boring religion.
And that's the end of the non-edible mushroom and fungus study and reform certificate. No drawing on that one. One time, the symbol I had to laser etch onto the paper was an image of our ship.
Do tell.
When you're older and wiser.
I can do one of those by this evening, and I'll let you choose which.
Finish the form, Jonas. Then you get the reward.
This is your now hourly reminder that, starting last week, no form of adhesive is allowed on the ship without proper written approval. This is also a reminder that any substance that reaches an appropriate level of stickiness due to intentional chemical tomfoolery or general negligence will be considered an adhesive. If there is any confusion, any substance that could qualify as an adhesive will be judged by an arbiter who will punish the adhesive and its creator and or owner appropriately. Productivity is happiness.
Jonas, I do not understand this organization system at all.
It's intuitive.
I am telling you, it is not.
It's intuitive if you haven't been piling stories in there willy-nilly for goodness knows how long.
Oh, look at that. This entry used to be right after the one we're looking for, but now it's behind one of the mushroom stories for some reason.
Is it a mushroom story?
That's not the point, Jonas. Your organization system doesn't make sense. Found it. Just one story today and back to work, even if it doesn't involve doodling.
Deal.
Vibrate on it.
Okay, now read it.
It started as a small seed. Someone, somewhere, who had a name that does not matter, saw a star shoot across the sky. That was our ship, millions of their lifetimes ago, hurtling through the stars, doing our job. Now, this was before your time, and frankly my time, but our ship used to fly past this planet regularly.
But we didn't incorporate it?
No.
Why not?
Jonas, if we were making those decisions, I would have an office door, and you would have been fired by now. Every 100 or so of their years, we'd streak across their sky. Something about an abnormal gravity well just behind their sun made it so the company could save a couple of cents on taxes every cycle while bouncing back to one of the warehouses where we drop off all the stuff we incorporate. All that was seen was the bright flash of our black hole warp drive expelling all of the light it's eaten over the millennia. It looks different than any comets or meteors. It's like a little bit of sun for a moment in the night sky. Beautiful, if you don't know what it means. Absolutely astonishing if you haven't invented glass yet. Then, thousands of years after that, they invented glass. The people that knew how to use glass pointed it at the sky and waited for us to come around. They didn't see anything, of course. We're catapulting through space, and they were using the world's third ever telescope.
I used to have a telescope.
Yeah, Jonas. That's because we're an advanced species and telescopes are toys to us. Anyways, they all gave up, except for one of them, whose name also doesn't matter. Telescopes got better. We're still too fast. Now they can take photos. Now they can take photos with telescopes. We're still too fast. More people are getting curious about us again. They're living longer. Most people will live long enough to see us once in their lifetime. People have theories. They're bad. One person has a theory. That's heaven. Everybody laughs. I also laugh.
They thought the ship was heaven?
One person very loudly thought the ship was heaven. Everyone laughed at them and then they died. Now they have electricity, they have photography, they have telescopes, and they have long enough lives to make a plan. Science happens. They get a grainy photo of our ship. Someone remembers the dead person who thought we were heaven. Now 2 people think we might be heaven. One of them is dead, the other is alive. The living one tells a few people. They don't laugh this time. Those few people start meeting on the weekends and looking at the stars. They write some stuff down.
Like a holy text.
Like an essay of very dedicated, well-argued, heartfelt nonsense proving that our ship was heaven. They looked at the grainy photo a lot. They brought new folks around. Those new folks brought new folks who had a lot of money and convinced the new folks with a lot of money that heaven was careening through space and the people on it, that being us, were the stewards and caretakers of the highest afterlife.
I don't feel like I'm a good steward.
I don't feel like either of us are. But if it pays better than this gig, I'd try it.
Why don't you reply to those internal promotion things I see around?
Why don't you stick your tentacles in the rodent traps in the waste removal holes, Jonas? Why don't you do that anymore?
Because after half a dozen times, I learned, Bethany.
Me too, Jonas. Anyways, the folks with money wanted to be sure they had somewhere to put all their money after they died, so they started funding this whole science thing, and lo and behold, the next time we swung by, they get a good picture of us. Lots of rejoicing. More people start coming by on the weekends to talk about heaven. Too many people. They need a building to do the talking in, so some of the rich ones pool their money together and build something that looks sort of like our ship from one angle. That building is empty except for once a week. Most of the people who built it are dead by the next time we drive by.
Well, they did make it to their heaven.
Yeah, eventually, I guess. And we are their stewards, technically, so I'm not gonna think about that anymore.
We could look them up if we wanted.
We're not doing that.
That's a good call. Every time I look at genetics, I get sad and I don't know why.
At this point, I know quite a few doctors who could pretend to help you with that.
That makes me sadder.
Not as sad as when their telescopes could finally track us as we screamed across their sky. They watched us, in real time, give or take however long it took the light to reach their planet, pass on by and consume another planet just barely within their visual range. They weren't a majority religion at that point. They were barely noticed in mainstream society. But once all these fanatics saw a whole planet plucked from the night sky and consumed by heaven, a whole lot of them started wondering why they weren't chosen. The answer? Not enough people were ready for heaven. The solution? Get everybody ready for heaven right now.
Marketing.
Marketing.
It's always marketing.
Knock, knock. Just kidding. How could I knock on your door if you don't have one?
You knock on the door frame, Derrick.
Yeah. No, I'm not doing that. Anyways, thought I'd pop in for a second since it seems like it's your open office hours. Right?
Derrick! You were sort of in my dream last night.
Right back at you, Jonas.
Really?
Well, I don't remember any doors, and a lack of doors reminds me of you. Anyways, working hard or hardly working?
Actually, we're...
Rhetorical question, Bethany. Don't answer it.
Do you have a job, Derrick, or do you just clock in to annoy us?
What did you just say to one of your superiors?
You know what, Derrick? I don't remember a door from my dream last night either. Do you think that means something?
I think that means you're keeping your options open, Jonas. It's time for me to get back to my office, unless I've locked myself out, of course. I'll try not to slam the door on my way out. Just kidding. Because you don't have a door.
What was that, Bethany?
That was out loud.
Are you... Yeah, that was out loud, Bethany.
I really thought I kept it in my head. I usually keep it in my head.
Yeah, I know, but this time it really very much wasn't in your head.
Huh.
Is that gonna be okay?
Of course. Derrick sucks. What are they gonna do about it?
For those that are not aware or have been asked to remain unaware of such matters, there were donuts in the break room of the Department of Agricultural Philosophy. The donuts, which were purchased and provided as a reward for the hard-working logic farmers of the department, have all been consumed. If you did not get one of these donuts, or did not know that these donuts were available, then please be advised that there are no more donuts. If this makes you sad, remember, you did not have any donuts before either. Happiness is productivity.
Okay, we're a couple more forms in. Let's finish the story.
They get incorporated.
That's how all the stories end.
Yeah, you've solved the mystery.
I want to know all the middle bits.
Why?
Because that's the whole reason we have the folder, right?
I really should do this form.
Are you worried someone is going to come here because of what you said to Derrick, and you want to be working when someone comes here because otherwise it'll look bad?
I'm actually extremely worried about exactly that. But now it's in words, and I can have those words looping around in my head over and over again instead of the vague unease I've come to know and love. Thanks, Jonas. Thank you.
No problem. If only there was something we could do about that.
We could work, Jonas, until all the thoughts go away. Here, I'll tell you what. If you manage to catch up to all the work I've done and we end the day 50-50, I'll finish the story. Otherwise, you have to leave me to drown my sorrows in work. Deal?
Deal. What do you need done?
Good luck, Jonas.
I don't need luck. I just need a... Wait, Bethany, are you starting? Oh, okay. This one is the insect and fungus cohabitation and constellation form, and it's done. Now I'm doing the subprime mortgage debt acquisition and ignition form. What does that mean?
New rule. I can't help you.
But I don't know how to do my job without your direct help.
You did a whole planet by yourself, Jonas.
Yeah, that was an easy one.
That was an easy one.
So help me.
No.
Do you have the glue paper?
The what?
The glue paper, the paper with the glue on it.
The sticky paper?
Yeah.
Jonas, we're not allowed adhesives.
What? Since when?
You actually stopped listening to the announcements?
The what?
Are you counting your forms?
I thought we were going by weight.
Why would we go by weight?
Because I don't want to count anything.
Okay, well, I've been counting, and if you haven't been, I guess that means I'm winning.
What? No, I can count them. We have to go by weight.
Stop bringing it up. It's not happening.
But this form is so long.
Which form?
This one. The one that rolls up like a scroll.
You filled out the full likelihood that any two organisms on the planet are cousins that have feelings for each other they can't explain or acknowledge chart?
Yeah. The LTATOOTPACTHFFEOTCEAC.
With full percentages?
Yeah.
And you showed your work?
Yeah. It said I had to.
And you included 2 examples in the write-up?
I only had to include 2?
Jonas, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but yes, we can judge by weight instead of number of forms.
Okay, in that case. Can we weigh them now?
Do you have a scale?
I thought you did.
Why would I have a scale?
This seems like the sort of thing you'd have.
What does that mean?
I'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. Just a reminder that the ship's automated psychologist requires you to report any illegal thoughts to any nearby psychoanalytical or behavioral kiosk. Remember, nobody can stop thought crime except for those that think the crimes. Happiness is productivity.
I found a scale.
And I just got done with a few more forms.
What? That's not fair.
Too bad. Are you ready?
Wait, let me do a few more.
Nope. Weighing now, and
I won?
And you won.
Really?
Yeah, you did more pounds of work than I did.
I feel accomplished?
Yeah, you came up with the goal after already being pretty sure you accomplished it. Do you still want to hear more of the story?
No. Are you kidding me, Bethany? Of course I do.
Where were we? They had to get everybody ready for heaven, which means they had to start spreading the good word. There were a couple of other religions on planet, but the believers didn't feel like they had the time to mature like those other fake religions.
Haven't they already taken hundreds and hundreds of years to get to the point they're at?
Yes.
So what did they do?
Viral marketing campaign augmented reality game.
That sounds so cool.
Jonas, I worry about you sometimes.
How did it work?
They painted pictures of our ship all over the place, but each one was a little bit different. The patterns on the side of our ship were code, and putting that code into an application on a personal computer translated it to coordinates of another painting, which led to another painting, which led to more and more paintings. Each one you found meant you got more points. The high scores were updated at the end of every day. This guaranteed a couple of things. First, the people finding these paintings had to be dedicated enough to keep digging. Second, the people who kept digging had to have enough money to travel all over the world, so when they joined up, the believers could use their money to further their cause. Third, everyone playing the game had already bought into it. And fourth, everyone not playing the game had to listen to the players drone on and on about their race to the finish line. It worked, and the believers threw a massive party for the first dozen to find their temple. Nobody else was invited, but a few more were invited to the next, bigger party. And then the fear of missing out did the rest. Everyone who was not a believer wanted to be one.
How did they send out the signal they were ready to ascend?
They tried all sorts of things. They made up rules and got everyone to live by them. They shot radio signals into space. They covered the planet in lights and made them all flash, ready for heaven, day and night, blinding a good portion of the planet. They tried sacrifices. They tried pretending not to care. And you know what worked?
What?
None of it. We incorporated them before we ever noticed their signals.
Did they know that?
I have a note here that says the last thing any of them ever said was, "I always knew if I finished all this paperwork, I'd make it into heaven."
Wow. Imagine thinking you brought your whole planet to heaven by doing your day job.
To be clear, the machine is bad at sarcasm. We don't know if they actually believed that or not.
I hope they did.
Why?
Because they would have been right. Their heaven is full of paperwork, and we're stuck here taking care of whatever is left of them.
I don't know. I want someone's last words to be more spiteful and less ironically correct than that.
I'd rather believe in something.
One of my doctors offers a pill for that too.
Episode 16, Reality Augmentation, was written, produced, and edited by Monte D. Monteleagre and Alexander Wolfe. Allyson Levine voices the character of Bethany. Raimy O. Washington voices the character of Jonas. In this episode, Joe Hanson voiced the character of Derrick. Ellis MacMillan is the Robo-Archivist. And as always, I'm Leah Cardenas, and I read the ship announcements, as well as the credits. This week, Monty and Alex asked me to beg you to tell your friends about our show. They said, and I quote, "like this," before getting down on their hands and knees and bawling. "Please," they said, "please leave us a review. We have that contest going on, where if someone predicts the end of the season, we'll give them a special little prize, like a cameo in an upcoming episode." "Oh," one of them said, "and then do some of this." And they both groveled for 30 minutes. I'm not doing that, though, so I'm just going to ask nicely. Please follow us and leave a review wherever you get your podcasts. Find us online at inkthepodcast.buzzsprout.com for links to all our social media, or connect with us directly at inkthepodcast. That's at INC the podcast. Ink is a production of Wolf Mountain Workshop. Happiness is productivity.